Every job offer, yes, every job offer should be negotiated. At high-paying, senior-level positions, it is expected that a job offer will be negotiated, and there are typically a large number of negotiation points. At lower levels, the negotiation points may be fewer, but it is no less important to negotiate. Getting just a fewer dollars an hour more results in a nice bump in salary. Getting extra vacation time means more time with your family. Keep in mind, once an employer has gone through the long and arduous process of choosing an employee, they don't want to lose the person, and a professionally done negotiation won't lose a job. The rest of this video will suggest ways to negotiate your next compensation package so you have a greater chance of earning more. Another important point, your negotiating strength is typically strongest before you take the job. What you negotiate will impact all further raises and bonuses. Once you're on the job, you'll be part of the standard compensation process, and you may not be able to substantially improve your compensation. The success of any negotiation depends on preparation. In order to negotiate your best compensation package, knowing your value in the employment marketplace, in your profession, in your geographic location is critical. Your compensation is based on the law of supply and demand. The fewer there are of you, and the greater demand for your skills and knowledge, the more you will be paid. Your compensation level depends on what you have to offer and how in demand you are in the geographic area where you are looking for a job. The geographic area is important because it determines the demand for specific jobs. There isn't a great deal of demand for oil riggers in New York City, but in Midland, Texas, there may be a shortage. Research the average compensation for your job on the internet. A particularly good site to find compensation is www.glassdoor.com. Once you know the average compensation for your position, you will be able to negotiate knowledgeably and confidently. For example, if the hiring manager asks what you think you should be paid, you can comfortably say, "Customer service professionals with my level of skill and experience in this area are typically paid." The hiring manager will have a difficult time arguing with a well-grounded statement like that. There are a couple of good questions to ask at the beginning of your compensation negotiation. They're non-aggressive, gentle questions that will offer you good information to guide your negotiation strategy. Question 1. Why did you select me? Once you know why you were selected, you will have a better understanding of how high you are valued. If the answer is, you are the only qualified person in a 5-state area we can find that can do, you know you're in high demand and low in supply. Your compensation just went up. If they say you were one of 5 candidates that could do the job and we just thought you would do the best work, then you know you have competition. They have easy other choices and your compensation won't be as high. Regardless of your value, however, you are the number one choice, and everyone wants their number one choice. You have negotiating leverage. Question 2. What is your compensation philosophy? Every company has a guiding philosophy that underlies their compensation. Some companies are, we hire the best and we pay the most. Some are, we have high turnover, so we pay at the bottom of the range and give frequent raises as people stay at the company. Some companies will say, we pay mid-range but have a generous bonus program based on performance. There are numerous compensation philosophies. You just need to know the philosophy of the company for which you are considering working. Once you know the philosophy, you can adjust your negotiating strategy. If the company philosophy is, we hire the best and we pay the most, you can expect that they will offer you a good compensation package and you'll have little room to negotiate should you think you should get paid more. If the company pays low and gives frequent raises, you may be able to negotiate for a higher starting salary, or moving the raises timing, say from 12 months to 9 months or 6 months. The point here is know the philosophy, and then consider the philosophy as you decide what to ask for. Typically, a hiring manager or recruiter will call you to offer you the job. During the phone call, she will tell you the compensation and discuss starting dates. Respond to this call by saying how excited you are about the opportunity and ask that they put the compensation in writing. Tell them you will look over the offer and get back to them in 24 to 72 hours once you have had time to read and consider the offer. Once you receive the offer letter, read it for completeness. Does it specify all parts of the compensation package, including all benefits? If not, email or call with questions. Also, email or call with questions you may have about just how the compensation works. Getting this written offer is critical. When offered a job, you may be so excited and grateful about landing the job that the excitement clouds your judgment about compensation. Having the compensation in writing and having a 24 to 72 hours to consider the offer will get you past the clouded judgment and into clearer thinking. Many people focus on salary only when negotiating compensation, but you're receiving a compensation package with many parts that can be negotiated. Often, benefits total 25 to 30% of a compensation package, and where one job looks good in terms of salary, another job with lower salary may actually be better in total compensation. You need to determine the important parts of a compensation package for you. It may be that working from home or more vacation time may be worth a trade-off in salary. Does the compensation include tuition reimbursement? Tuition reimbursement may be worth thousands of dollars if you decide to continue your education, or if the tuition reimbursement covers kids' education. When you are negotiating compensation, consider all the pieces of the package. Each piece is typically negotiable and can be part of your discussion with the hiring manager. People hear the word negotiation and they get concerned, thinking it has to be complicated and argumentative. Just the contrary. A negotiation can be very simple, or not. If you're going for a high six-figure salary at a top job at a major corporation, it pays to work with a compensation lawyer. A compensation lawyer may cost $10,000 or more, but if your salary is in the hundreds of thousands, a lawyer is well worth the cost. In a complicated compensation negotiation, it helps to have a knowledgeable, objective person helping you make strategic decisions. After all, major athletes and movie stars have agents. Why shouldn't you? If you're going for considerably less, say $15 to $18 an hour, just a simple phrase, after having asked the two compensation questions, of course, works well. The phrase, "I was hoping for a bit more," is a perfectly good negotiating tactic. Often, you will find they simply offer more because salary is a range. They start at the bottom of the range and they are authorized to offer more. At other times, they may ask, how much more? Be ready with your research. Professionals with my level of skill and experience in this area are typically paid. Don't hesitate to state the top of the salary range for your position. Stating the top of the range sets an anchor and the negotiating starts from there. If you give the middle of the range or the bottom of the range, that is the anchor, and the negotiation proceeds from there. Also, silence is your ally. Once you make a statement like, "I was hoping for more," become silent and let the hiring manager respond. Don't feel that you need to fill the silences. Being silent puts the other person in the position of having to respond. Once again, keep in mind a professional, respectful, knowledgeable negotiation will not hurt you, and in pretty much every case gets more money and more respect.